It's a Beppe.
It's Mbaya. It's Mbaya. It's not power, Tinash. It's not power.
It's not a poor idea yet. This is your big day.
Where is the backup plan? Where is my backup plan?
All the plan that I need is right here. This beautiful, soft face.
It's gotta be DJ Cold Jazz. Listen to game. Your weekend party has officially begun. Cold Jazz in the mix.
Colorblind, but this year naingia colors. Na between school na career ni kubalance. Cause I'm the big man with a big swag. Ningekuwa ndula.
And a very good evening to you. Welcome to KBC Channel 1. This is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Aurora, and it's about that time where we have a special guest on my hot seat, and we talk about things that, I guess a lot of you want to know, because the person who's sitting right across me is somebody who has been quite the boss babe. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We're also talking about how she's managed to balance her career, her business, her personal life, her fitness goals, everything so seamlessly, and she just makes it look so easy. I'm talking about Zia Bett. Hello.
Hi, Shiksha.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
You look gorgeous.
So do you.
Happy International Women's Month. I'm not going to say day, I'm going to say month, because this entire March we're celebrating women like you.
Yes, happy International Women's Month.
Thank you so much. So Zia, people know you as Zia Bett, but who is Zia Bett if I was to ask you and you were to introduce yourself to the world?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me. I am a mom, I am a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm very passionate, I'm fun-loving, and I'd like to say I'm a girl's girl.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that. I actually got that from you. Like, we've spent, I think, a few days together. We had a campaign that we're working on together.
Right.
And, like, I love to see that energy of, being a girl's girl.
Yeah.
Because you were so friendly and you were so, like, empowering, and you were helpful to other women. So I see that. I see that.
Thank you so much.
So, Zia, you started off as somebody who was in the employment sector, and then you moved into entrepreneurship. So how exactly did that happen for you as a woman? I feel like entrepreneurship right now is something that not every woman succeeds in, and there are so many obstacles on the way, and how exactly women overcome that and become successful is something that we'll also talk about. But maybe you can just get started and tell me about that journey from employment to entrepreneurship with your brand, which is Zia Africa.
Yeah, so I started Zia in 2013, so it's been just a little over 10 years, and I started it while I was in campus. So obviously the right thing to do while after you finish college is go get a job, get a good job, and now follow your career path. But because I had started Zia, it was always something that was tagging. There was something tagging in my soul, like, this is what you're meant to do this. Imagine if you put in the work that you're putting in your job to your business, it can succeed. So I was employed for some time, I think from 2016 till about 2020. During the pandemic is when I quit my job, which is crazy because that's when you're supposed to like hold on for dear life. But I took that leap of faith because I'd built my community over time, and I knew for a fact this is what I want to do.
And how did you get into the fashion industry?
Well, I've always loved fashion. I used to do those DIYs at home when I was younger. I used to style my sisters. I've always enjoyed like things like America's Next Top Model. So I knew this is something I'm passionate about. It's just that I wasn't sure that this is a feasible career path.
Of course. Because I feel like that's a question that very many people have in their minds. Will I be able to sustain this business? Will I be able to stay, or even as a stylist? Like, will I make enough money to survive?
Exactly. So initially when I started, I was just selling to my friends. When I would get clothes from Gikomba, sell to them in campus. Later started importing, and then in 2020 we began Made in Kenya production.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like your brand, your fashion brand, is one that really prides itself in being sustainable. Which is amazing because it's very hard to find Kenyan brands. I guess there are a few now. As the industry has grown, we have seen that a lot of brands are now moving to sustainability. But you've always been doing that from day one. So how has that been for you?
Well, it's been a struggle. It's a challenge because, for one, there's not enough awareness about it. So for us, we've taken it upon ourselves to educate our community, like, hey, this is why you should care about where your clothes are made, who made your clothes, how are they paid, how are the working conditions, and that's one thing we've been trying to do. In addition, we ensure our fabrics are organic. So like what I'm wearing is 100% cotton.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So nice.
Thank you.
You just look like rich woman.
That's what I'm trying to channel.
Channeling rich energy.
So just educating our community on the importance of sustainability, and also urging our peers and our competitors, like, hey, let's do this thing. It works and it's good for the environment.
That's amazing. And how many people have you employed right now as we speak?
Well, as now we're at 15 employees.
Oh, that's amazing.
I can't believe it either.
And you have how many stores? Physical stores?
So for now we have 1.5. We have a physical store at Village Market, and we have a workshop at Ngara, which is also a pickup point for our customers.
Amazing. And it's mostly, well, you started off online, right?
Yes. So for the longest time we're online, for the first 7 years or so. And during the pandemic is when we had our breakthrough. So for all those 7 years, I was not really making money.
Really?
Yeah.
7 years?
Yeah.
You know, that's a question that I really want to ask them, because how did you get that inspiration and encouragement to keep going regardless of the fact that you're not making much money? Like, you're not even breaking even. So how did you keep going?
I think I just believed in it so much. It just had to work out. And by the time I left, I had invested all my earnings. Like, when my salary would come straight to Zia, I would not even look at it. So I would invest like that, and I just used to have enough for transport and lunch to work. So I think one of the things I knew for a fact is this has to work out, because I don't care about anything else. This is exactly what I want to do, and I feel so right in my soul that this is the path I'm supposed to take.
Right. And you mentioned that in 2020, that's when things, you know, started looking up for you. And how did that happen?
So everyone was at home. And because I'd spent the past 7 years building my platform, creating content, by the time guys are catching up now, they're trying to shop online. We had already mastered online.
Amazing.
So there was a good uptick for digital as well. So we launched our website immediately in 2020. and our sales tripled. Like, it was amazing. I was able to open my workshop. I was able to employ my first tailor, and it honestly, I thank God. It was a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. And Zia, you know, like when you said that sales tripled, was it something that you did in particular? Do you think it was the launch of the website, or what do you think actually triggered or like caused that ripple effect of the sales just completely skyrocketing?
I'd like to say hard work met luck.
And also you took advantage of the opportunity by launching the website at that exact moment.
Yeah.
You saw the gap.
You see, I had been doing the same thing for 7 years. Not really the same thing, but I'd been pushing this brand for a very long time. So by the time 2020 was happening, I feel like when people found out about our brand, they're like, okay, this kid's actually doing a good job. They have all these pieces. They have good quality. They have good customer service. So because they're at home, they had the time to also have a look at our website, and I think it was also a strategic move to open my e-commerce store at that time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love to hear this.
Yeah.
The fact that you didn't give up 7 years of not making money and just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like you one thing that you mentioned that I think has really just inspired me, that you spent everything that you had on this particular business.
Yeah.
So there was no option.
No,
it had to
no
work.
savings.
It was either this or nothing.
Literally, it was that or nothing. And I had the encouragement of my husband because he's also a creative. So I remember when I was thinking about quitting my job, I was like, I don't know, what am I going to do? Like, I won't have a salary. I don't know, like, how long or whether this thing is going to work out.
Yeah.
But he was like, so just try. What's the worst that could happen?
Right.
Yeah, just take that leap.
That's amazing. Speaking of your husband, I'm so glad that you brought him up, because I wasn't going to be the one to bring him up. I was going to wait for you to bring him up, and then we talk about it. You know, maybe you can tell us more about, like, you two as a couple and how you're both able to manage your careers, because you also have an illustrious career, being an entrepreneur, having a brand, and then him also being a musician, being Dean Yashinsky. So, like, maybe you can tell me how exactly the two of you have managed to, like, be so in love, have a family, and at the same time manage your careers.
Well, I'll say it's God. It's God, because I can't say it's by our own strength. There's challenges that come with every marriage, and there's good moments as well. The good moments always outweigh the bad. And I think the key thing for us is that we're really good friends. We're really good friends. He's the first person I want to call whenever I have an idea or when something happens at work. And I'd like to think the same for me. So for us, we really just share a lot and support each other in our individual goals as well as our goals as a family.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. And actually, I saw a video the other day that talked about how friendship is what keeps marriages together, and what keeps you know, couples together as married people, because I feel like along the way sometimes you just forget that this person was your friend at one point, and you're just focused on the fact that they're your husband or they're your wife, and then you see the cracks slowly forming along the way. So that's a very beautiful point that you mentioned. And you actually, we were talking off camera, and you mentioned one thing, and you said that you got your baby during COVID, and then both of you were just like stuck with each other for 1 year. And as much as that's the most beautiful story, because I feel like babies who are born in COVID have had so much love from their parents, their undivided attention, because at that point in time, that's all you're focusing on, the baby. So the baby has been brought up in an environment full of love and positivity. Well, sometimes obviously there's negativity because you're in a pandemic, and there is negative energy around you, but in your home, it's just a beautiful environment to be brought up in. How was that experience for the three of you at that time?
Yeah, it was awesome. We spent so much time together. We really bonded. We did everything you can imagine in the house.
Did you bake banana bread?
We baked everything. We did the TikTok dances, but they didn't go up.
Just for you two.
They didn't make it to the internet, but it was a lot of fun. And because we're both homebodies, honestly, it was just a continuation of our life. Yeah, because we're just at home, and it's always good to spend time with family. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Now, you know, Zia, you mentioned that recently you are going to be, well, you said you want to launch something very soon. So maybe you can tell us more about that. I know you've been having like collections that you've been launching. You had a Valentine's collection, and then before that you had different, I guess, themed. So how exactly how much time does it take, firstly, to put a collection, out there for the world?
Yeah.
How much effort? Because what we see is the final product.
Right.
We don't really see what happens behind the scenes and what goes into it. So maybe you can take us through that, and maybe you can tell us more about your new collection.
Thank you for mentioning it. We have a Women's Day collection. It's titled I Am Woman. And
beautiful.
Yes, so we're just celebrating women, everything that we are, our resilience, our passion, our gracefulness. It's launching on the 8th of March. And it's just a curated collection of all my favorite pieces. We sat together with the design team and just thought, what represents women? What makes you feel good? So we have something like this that, you said I look rich and, fabulous. And then we have the nice body-hugging dresses that every woman loves to wear.
Of course.
And I think for us, as we create our collections, we try and first of all, listen to our customers, what our customers are saying, what do they want, and we also try and follow what we feel is right for the season. So for me, it's usually about what I'm going through at the time. So like right now, obviously, it's Women's Month. We want to celebrate the women, make them feel powerful and confident. And I'm excited to launch tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because, it's nice to see brands doing more for women.
Right.
Of course, it is owned by a woman.
Yeah.
It is obviously a female-led brand business.
Yeah.
But it's also nice to see that, you're putting so much thought into the fact that more women need to feel powerful, more women need to feel confident in what they wear. And when you wear clothes, I feel like it kind of represents who you are. So it's nice to see that you're also putting the personality there because there's something for everyone, which is great.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you and the team to come up with this particular collection? How many weeks, months of work?
Some pieces took months, others took weeks, others took one day.
Wow.
So for us, what we do, we don't cancel any designs. If you have an idea, we sketch it and try and build it. We build it up, and sometimes it's quick, like you're like, this has to be this in the collection. Other times we have to take a bit longer. So for this collection, we have, this took a couple of months.
Right.
And we have others that took a shorter period of time.
Amazing. And everything is made in Kenya, right?
Everything is made locally, made by women, for women.
For women?
For women.
Oh, I was like, okay, wait.
By women, for women.
Oh,
right.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Zia, I feel like the one thing that every woman would love to know from you is how do you manage it all? Because, I asked you on behalf of you and him, right? How you're able to keep your relationship going and how you're able to keep your businesses going. But what about you as a woman? We're talking about women empowerment. We're talking about International Women's Month. So as a woman, maybe you could take us through some of the challenges that you've encountered along the way, trying to, I guess, do everything and do it well. Because sometimes I feel like we do things, but then we don't really put our heart and soul into it. We're just doing it to survive and to get things done out of the way. But then when you put your heart, you put your soul, you put your mind into something, I guess that's when you see the fruits, the fruits of your labor. So what about you as Zia, your brand, your marriage, your motherhood? How are you able to do everything so meticulously?
I'd like to say I don't. I believe in being perfectly imperfect.
Okay.
Which means that some days you'll be the best mom and you'll be able to be there for your kids and do that. Other days might be a struggle, but you still do it and you do it as best as you can that day. So for me, I just try to do everything with pure intention and being very present. Like now I'm here with you and I'm very present. But when I go home, I'm gonna put my phone away, focus on the kids, dinner time, bath time, all that. So for me, I believe in a good balance and trusting your gut. Women have a very good instinct. So for me, I think the most important thing you can do as a woman when you're trying to navigate being a mom, being a wife, being a career woman is doing what you're doing and do it well, do it intentionally, and when you're done with that, do the next thing well and do it intentionally.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you mentioned that because every morning I wake up and I see Zia posting her pictures at the gym. And I'm like, if Zia can do it, why am I sitting in bed? Why am I not at the gym?
Girl, hey,
How's your fitness journey going?
I love it. I love it. I feel like fitness is like therapy for me. It keeps me sane. I feel good when I go to the gym, and I'd encourage every woman or man to go to the gym. And discipline is a good part of, I feel like to succeed, you have to be disciplined. So for me, it puts that in perspective. At least I know every morning I have to gym. So that means you have to do what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And gym, most times I don't feel like going to the gym, but I know I must go to the gym. I'm going to the gym. So just practicing that helps me in my business and helps me in other areas that I'm trying to build.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And you know, Zia, you mentioned that gym is like therapy for you, right? And it's so important because mental health these days is something that I guess people are struggling with, and now we're more open about it. People are voicing their struggles with mental health, and they're talking about their challenges in this past few years, you know, with life, relationships, careers, just generally, people are now opening up. So as Zia, have you ever experienced lows? I'm sure you have. We're a human being. Everybody has. And how exactly did you overcome those days? You said gym is a nice outlet, but apart from that, what else? Have you maybe, I guess, confided in somebody, or have you been open about your struggles, therapy, counseling, you know, in times of need where you genuinely feel like your mental health is suffering or struggling? What have you done for yourself?
Thank you. That's a really good question. And I think many women put themselves last, particularly if you have other people you're taking care of.
Because you want to show up for others first.
Exactly. So for women, it's important to take time for you. And taking time for you can look anyhow. It can be running a bath, going for a walk, meeting with your girls and, you know, laughing for 1 hour. And for me, one of the things I value most is my kitchen table. I have a kitchen table of girlfriends who, you know, I can call at any time. And those girlfriends include my sister, my mom. It depends what I'm going through. I also believe in journaling. Journaling is a good way, a good outlet to just release. You know, women, we always have so much to say and so many thoughts. That's a great outlet. Exactly. Write it all down. Look for a hobby that you can do, even if it's once a week. And when you do it for you without any expectation from anyone. So I think putting yourself first and caring for yourself is a good way for any woman to just care for themselves and succeed.
I like that. I like that you have your, you know, inner circle. Because I feel like sometimes we're just so worried about what others will think about us, judgment, so that you don't really open up and talk about your true feelings. Right. So I'm glad that we have other women that we can lean on. And Women's Day is all about women empowerment. It's all about having other women stand up for you. You know, women that you can call family. When you're facing some sort of hiccups in life or any sort of obstacles or challenges. It's beautiful. And Zia, you know, I like that you are, I guess, somebody who is driven, but at the same time, you're also very homely, which is a nice balance. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? First tell me that.
I'm an ambivert. I'm an ambivert.
Okay, you're the middle of both. You can be.
I can be in selected groups,
Okay, beautiful. And like when you are with your partner and when you have to show up at events and when you have to be out there and you have to, like, you know, be present, how exactly do you, like, I feel like I'm so curious to know. Are you, first of all, are you his #1 fan?
I'd like to think so.
Like when he releases new music, are you the kind of person who will be listening to everything and be like, yes, babe, this is it, this is the album?
I'm sure there's someone on the internet who'd fight me then, like, no, I'm there.
No, it's me.
But I'm a big fan. He's great at what he does.
I like that. That's beautiful. And when it comes to, like, your family, right, in general, your mom, you mentioned your sister, do you have moments where sometimes you're like, you know what, we need a girls trip, you know what, we need to be with each other, we need to spend girl time? How important is girl time for you?
Very important. And let me stress the fact that you have to have a group of women who want the best for you. And I feel like as women, it's something that we should prioritize because we tend to spend a lot of time with our girlfriends. So you need your circle to be right. You need your circle to be people who even you look up to, you encourage each other, you push each other to be better. And you know for sure this person, I can call them and they'll be there and they have no bad intentions with me.
That's nice. I like that. I'm glad that you have that because I feel feel like sometimes to stay sane, you need to vent.
Yeah, and you need to trust them. So if you circle, you're like, hey, don't about that girl.
Yeah.
No, she can't be in your circle.
Yeah.
So I prioritize girl time. I have a lot of girl time. My girls are always coming over. We do like nice lunch dates. So it's important.
Yeah, and when it comes to mentorship, right?
Yeah.
If there is an upcoming fashion designer or somebody who wants to get into entrepreneurship, who wants to open a fashion line, and they want some sort of advice from you, what would you like to tell them? A budding fashion designer who just doesn't know how to break through. Maybe you can give them some advice.
Wow, that's a good question. For an upcoming fashion designer, I'd encourage them to create as much as possible, fail fast, listen to your customers, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3, listen to what they're saying, try and improve as quickly as possible. I'd like for them to be consistent, because for me, as I mentioned, I'd been consistent for 7 years before I saw any fruits. So a lot of it is just believing so much in your dream, and also looking for mentors, like you've mentioned. I have a lady who actually I met in 2020, and she was so encouraging. For the first time, I'd just been selling like a few clothes, and she was like, what if you sell X number of items? And I was like, you can sell this number of items and people will buy, you know. So you need someone who looks at you and sees your potential and is willing to work with you. So find someone who you can work with. At Zia, we have an attachee program. So we have many students who've passed through Zia for the attachment program. Some have stayed on. So you can also look at fashion houses that you look up to and try and get some mentorship through there, and you're gonna succeed. Yeah.
That's nice. That's beautiful. And what about you? When you were younger, who did you look up to as your fashion icons, or just women in general who really inspired you to just be a boss babe?
Well, I love Kona Walker. Kona Walker is the owner of House of CB.
Okay.
Wandia paved the way for all made in Kenya brands. Seeing her build Vivo from the one shop at Junction, I don't know how many shops she has right now, and even the fact that she's mentored many women. She's always very open, like, come and see everything, come and enter, take a tour in the workshop. And I also like Fisayo. Fisayo is the owner of Kai Collective.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's awesome to see women just breaking those barriers, breaking those walls, breaking through, getting funding. That's something else. I know it's Women's Month. Women only get 3% of funding. So seeing such women in the fashion industry get funding has been encouraging. So I'd like to hope that through my journey there's someone who's getting inspiration, like, hey, okay, you can do sustainable fashion and, you know, make the rent.
You can, right?
So I think it's important for women, even like yourself, you being here on TV and women seeing you and you going after your dreams is very inspiring. So
thank you.
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
Oh, thanks, guys. Blushing. Thank you, Zia.
Yeah.
And you know, lastly, I think as we are going to be wrapping up in a bit, I also want you to talk to me about the journey of motherhood. Okay. Right? Motherhood for you has been a big part of your life. And it's so beautiful when you talk about your children. You have a big smile on your face.
I love this.
And you mentioned something and you were like, I have 2 boys. And first of all, having 2 boys is not an easy job.
Yeah.
But you do it with so much grace.
Do I?
Well, at least that's what you put up on social media.
I need to come home and
see what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I love motherhood. It's a beautiful journey. There's nothing like it. It's a love that you've never experienced before. I can't even explain. Yeah. And it's beautiful. I love my 2 boys, and I just pray for God to guide me as I parent them. Yeah.
I'm sure like when you see them sometimes and they're like all over the place creating a mess, you're just like, exactly, that's Sai. But then at times, when we were talking off camera, you also said that, you know, when they're not around, I'm bored.
It's crazy. It's the wildest thing. I think someone needs to do a study because you're like, hey, I need a break. But as soon as they leave, you're like, hey, the house is quiet.
I miss them.
I need them. I need those kids around. Yeah, but I love them, and it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. Yeah.
Are they daddy's kids or are they mommy's kids?
One is daddy's.
Oh. 100%. And one is yours.
Daddy's, one is mine.
That's a good balance.
It's an even number.
We love equality.
We would be outnumbered, yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
And you know, as we wrap up, I also want you to like tell me a bit about love for you. What is love for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I've ever thought deeply about it, but just off the top of my mind, I think...
What does love mean to you?
Love, what does love mean to me? I think love to me is the decision, the daily decision or the conscious decision to care for someone deeply every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. So I think it's just the intentionality. It's a choice. It is a choice. And you love despite, not because. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation. So refreshing, so beautiful to see you do all these different things that you do.
Yeah.
Say hi to Nyashinsky. We hope to have him here one day.
Okay.
Maybe you can put in a good word.
I'll do my best.
And honestly, you're doing such a phenomenal job as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And also now you're like looking so good.
Oh, thank you.
Body goals, just inspiring mothers out there to go to the gym. And happy International Women's Month to you, Zia.
Oh, thank you so much
Keep
for
inspiring,
having me.
keep shining.
Thank you, Shiksha.
Yeah. And that's it from us. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. By the way, you can check her out on Instagram. That's Zia Bett.
Yes, Zia Bett.
That's your individual page.
Yeah.
And then for her brand, her fashion brand, it's
Zia Africa.
Zia Africa. Check them out. Go check out the amazing clothes that they have. You know, they're sustainable. They're taking care of the planet. They are made by women, for women.
Right.
And literally 100% Kenyan. Because
Yes.
they're made in Kenya.
Yes.
So make sure you do support them. And yeah, let's just keep this going. Let's just keep encouraging other women out here to like just be boss babes and keep shining and keep winning and just keep thriving in whatever they do with so much love, passion, care, and just give it their 100%. Okay? That's it from me. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Shiksha Arora signing out. Bye.
Bye.